What's happening, guys? Lachie here, and I'm here with my boy Kashi. What's happening, Kashi? How are you, bro?
Yo, what's good, bro? Just chilling, keen for this interview.
Nice. Let's run it up. Yeah. You came in and closed on our offer. You probably worked for us for maybe like 6 to 8 months. Does that
Yeah,
sound about right?
yeah.
And you came in when it was Fonz closing, and was it Laura closing as well?
I don't think I was there when Laura was closing. I remember Fonz. I remember
It
Fonz
must have been
closing.
someone else. Was it Navid?
No. Never joined after me. I think it was Fonz and Quinn, maybe Quinn.
Ah, okay, nice one. Yeah, so you came in, we were probably at maybe 350K a month, maybe around about 350K a month. And then you close with us for like 6 to 8 months. So, dude, the people watching this just want to hear about what it was like working with me. First question for you is my offer wasn't the first offer you came on. You worked on another offer before that. We don't have to mention any names. But I want to hear what was it like coming from another offer onto Scale Smart? What were some of the first big differences you noticed immediately?
Yeah, this is great. It's probably like my first time actually like vocalizing what's so different about Scale Smart, Locky, the culture, the energy. Because for context, before I even hopped onto Scale Smart, I was closing for probably a year and a half straight, like full-time closing. And I did anywhere from like 10K a month to 12K a month in commissions. And I worked on similar size teams that were doing like 200, $300,000 a month. And the main difference that I noticed was immediately the culture. As soon as I joined, high standards, daily meetings, actual video modules with sales stuff that wasn't just the generic, NEPQ, call gold and that type of things, regurgitated stuff. It was like real original sales stuff that I haven't even heard before. On top of all of that, I think it's really like how involved you were with the team, like one on one, hopping on calls, either delegating calls. I think that was something that was really good. I think out of all the things I mentioned, though, the most important part was definitely the culture, like the
Mm,
people that you hired on that team, specifically Alfonso, who's obviously a great friend of mine.
mm,
A great relationship formed there, but also he set the standard for that team. I still remember when I joined, he was talking about, hey, Lockie has these standards. You have to hit these KPIs, these calls, these dials, these tracking, these sales stuff. You have to go through this, which I just never experienced before. For
mm.
context, on the offers that I was on before, we didn't even do call reviews, like at all.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It wasn't even a thing. We didn't even have morning meetings. Just wasn't a thing. So we would just show up maybe once a week on a group call and we're just kind of soloing our way, hitting 10K months in commissions, which is why I mean, obviously, like that offer and the offer that I was on, it didn't really scale to this day. Like it's still stuck at that $200,000 to $300,000 a month mark.
Yeah. Dude, you crushed that. I feel like you had that pre-rehearsed. That's a pre-rehearsed. You can tell you're a great sales guy. I love it. Um, what about the culture was it, do you think? Because I feel like, and just for context, a lot of the offer owners who watch this, they want to get to like 200, 300, half a million a month plus, but they feel like, oh, I just need to get a better script. But they don't realize it's the culture that gets you to like half a million to a million a month. So what was it about the culture that you think was really awesome at Scale Smart?
Yeah, 100%. This isn't just like a Scale Smart thing. It started with Scale Smart, and I actually saw it, and you noted this as well on like some of the biggest teams in this industry that do a million a month, 2 million a month, 3 million a month. They actually all operate with the same core values. And so specifically about culture, it's about the hires that you make. So for
Mm,
example, like you chose me for a reason out of all the closes that came into the team. You chose Fonz for a reason. You chose Navid for a reason. And all the hires that we made after that, it was like we were building a sports team and
mm,
every single day was like, hey, this is like, training like an athlete. And everyone kind of played their role.
mm,
A live example of this would be, for example, Alfonso, I would say, is more of like that calm,
mm.
detached, very like mature type of guy that, never has like swings or he's very stable and
Yeah,
consistent.
yeah.
Whereas I would be someone who is more of that young hustler that would come in and, perform really, really well on some weeks, but maybe not perform as well on some weeks.
Mm,
While Navid was kind of similar but different. Like we all played our roles.
mm,
So a lot of like opera owners and people that are watching this, if you think like just throwing a bunch of scripts or throwing a bunch of objection handling to closes, it's just not going to work. Like at the end of the day, like if you have a bad team already, you have bad hires and bad culture already, it's very hard to fix that. You have to fix the root problem, right?
mm.
Which is like the sales reps and the culture that's on the team.
Mm. Yeah, that's really well said. You have to fix it through the people that you hire. And I have said this to a lot of people, bro. You are easily the most gifted sales rep I've ever probably ever actually met, let alone trained. Like I remember you came on, and, shout out Fonz because he came back and crushed it every month after, but you smoked Fonz in the first month that you came on the offer, right? Um, and you picked up the MOR framework the easily the fastest out of anyone I've ever coached because it is quite a complicated closing framework that we use. But I'd love to hear your feedback. What was it like? What was it like just hearing about the MOR framework and then learning it, and then obviously the results you got from it when you first came into the offer?
Yeah, I have a lot to say about the MOR. I mean, I can like talk forever about MOR, sales process, discovery. I can talk about so much about that, but I'm
Well,
gonna like,
let's start with what is it for people who are
yeah.
listening to this don't know what it is.
So for those of you that have never heard of MOR before, it just stands for a moment of realization. And what that means is you are not following a script. You are not just saying the words for a reason. You are helping someone change their identity from when they joined the call as like a complete newbie to hitting a moment of realization and MOR on that call, which then forces them to make a change and invest in themselves and overcome their limiting beliefs. That
Mm,
is essentially what an MOR is. Now, it sounds simple. And it
mm,
actually is like high level overview, but there's so many intricacies and coaching and training. It's a very hard thing to teach, to be honest.
mm,
And that's the main difference that I noticed and why I picked it up so quickly was honestly, because you helped me, bro, like a lot one on one, and you were a very good teacher. And all the modules and videos and stuff and knowledge that you learned for the last 9, 10 years, it
mm,
wasn't just packed in hour-long videos. It was very structured, where
mm.
it's like, cool, do this, do this, do this, do this. And if you have any mistakes, this is the solution. If you make this mistake, this is the solution. Like you pretty much had everything mapped out. And for someone like me, who is very self-dependent, I love learning like really, really fast. It was so easy to just go through the whole thing
Mm,
and learn things quickly. So I would say that's a big one. And number two, leading by example.
mm,
Alfonso and every single person on the sales team
mm.
followed the MOR process because it worked.
Jesus.
I found that a lot of founders and sales coaches that are watching this video, I find that the teams are very like fragmented, as in one person's doing NEPQ or some random process, another person's doing their own process, someone's just winging calls, and everyone's kind of all over the place. There's no synergy. But when everyone's following one process,
Mm,
it's the exact same system. It works at such a high close rate. Then we all just like compound and we just make
mm,
more money from it. So I would say that was a big reason.
Very well said. Yeah, you articulated that very well. Like the MOI is a pretty complicated process when you first hear about it, even though it is simple in its absolute form. And so, talk about some of the results that you got once you implemented it. Like, what has been your best month in commission so far as a sales rep?
Yeah, my best month in commissions as a sales rep has been $42,000 dollars in straight commissions. And I've actually gone and used the MOR process to other opportunities and like bigger offers and even things that I manage. And I talk about it a lot. And obviously like it's kind of changed a little bit to like my own style, but it's the exact same fundamentals, right?
Mm,
So that's the kind of results I got with it. In terms of Scale Smart specifically, obviously like on the first month itself I doubled my numbers and doubled my commissions. Like I literally went from 10K to 20K a month in my first month itself.
mm,
And then kept increasing from there, and all the other people that joined Scale Smart that I personally knew from other offers like Navid,
mm,
uh like Ryan, maybe like other people that I knew personally beforehand, they
mm.
just went through this like insane skill development as soon as Scale
Yeah.
Smart because I knew how they used to sell before they joined.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. Like everyone who joined, they smashed all their previous PBs, and everyone who's left and joined other offers, they've now all smashed all the records on the other offers. Um,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can give examples of this. Like, I think you would know as well. Like, if you like, and you would have heard about it as well. But let's just use like simple examples, like Jackson, for example, right? Who's gone from zero to setting on Scale Smart
mm,
to going to closing and doing 20, 30K months to
mm,
using that skill set on other opportunities and smoking that team and making like 50K a month, 60K a month to
mm,
Navid doing 80K a month. Like,
mm.
I think that's super cool, and it just goes to show that it's all a process thing.
Yeah, exactly. They've crushed, and obviously they've had help from other coaches as well. I can't take responsibility for everything, but a big part of that has been like the time they spend at Scale Smart and what they learn there, which has been really, really awesome to see. I'm super proud of you, bro. Like 42K in a month is insane. Do you want to talk a little bit about the what you're doing now? Like you're doing sales coaching for reps. You're also helping other offers optimize their stuff. So like, you've moved on from just being a rep. What are you doing at the moment?
Yeah, so I transitioned from being a sales rep like probably a year ago now. And I was doing consistent 40K months for a while. And then I was like, you know what? Let me use this skill set to go and manage other people and pass the knowledge on like you did for me, bro, which was like
Mm.
super, super helpful. Now, I don't think I'm able to pass it on to that intensity. Definitely not. Like I have my own take on it and I only know the fundamentals. But from my experience, like managing teams now, just like one or two things from MLR, one or two things from the culture that I learned at Scale Smart, drastic improvements. I'm
Mm.
talking like drastic improvements. For example, one of the teams that I personally sales manage, I don't do sales management full time, but this one specifically
Mhm.
is my top closer. His name's Justifier. He does around 10K a month consistently for the last 6 months on that on an offer where it's low call volume, it's
Mm.
low ticket, and he has like a 70 to 80% close rate on a one call close rate, which is like insane when you
Yeah.
compare it to other offers, just from me telling him the basics of MOR and cultures and standards and
Mm.
tracking and that's so I'm
Mm.
like seeing it in real time, not just with me, but other people.
That's huge. That's massive, bro. I mean, that's a really, really good point you bring up as well, because a lot of people watching this, they're going to be thinking, okay, well, like Lachie did it on his own offer, but is what does what he teach and what he does, is that going to work on my offer? Because I may be in a different space or a different industry. It sounds like you're proving that it can work on other offers as well. Do you want to talk a bit more
Like
about that?
the amount of people, like for example, I'll give you a live example of this. Like if anyone's like doubting that, yo, does this process work on other offers or other opportunities? Like I'll give you a real life example, right? So this is from one of my students, like one of my sales reps that I coach personally, and he actually flew out to the Gold Coast for a very popular like sales event and sales conference that happens like every single year. And the first thing that he told me, as soon as he like, I told him, how did the conference go? How was it? I usually like to ask how they went. First thing he said was, dude, what is MOR? What is Scale Smart? Who is Lucky? Who is our one? And the first thing he said was that. And it just goes to show that like I see a lot of people trying to imitate the MOR process or trying to just grasp onto certain things about the MOR process just because of like the word of mouth of how good it actually is. So I'm seeing it like not even directly, but indirectly as well. People just mentioning it.
Dude, you're crushing this. You know, I'm gonna have to pay you or something for this. I feel like this interview,
So I've been waiting for this for a year.
I can just hand you the mic and you should run this. All right, since you're crushing this, let me hit you with some curveballs. All right, let's say um, I tell a business owner, a potential client, I'm going to set up their marketing and their sales process for them, but it's going to
Yeah.
cost me 50 grand. And they're like,
Okay.
oh, geez, that's a lot of money. I'm not sure if that's going to be worth it or if it's going to work. What would you tell them?
Yeah, see, that's interesting because I don't think like money, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's like
Mhm.
if you have the 50 grand, even if it's you have 51K in your bank account, I still think the 50K is worth it because one, you can always make more money with the current business that you have and you'll make back that 50K in a couple of months. Worst case, let's say you're making 10, 20K a month right now. Things are a little bit slim with your business. You'll make it back in a couple of months anyway.
Mhm.
But the best case scenario is one, you're following a proven system. Two, you're probably going to double or triple that money. And three, you're working with someone that's actually scaled opportunities to 1 million a month himself. And also indirectly coached a lot of people that have gone on to manage and done 80K months in commissions and worked on 1 million a month offers. So for me, obviously, I'm biased. Like, I've worked on the team and I've been a part of the culture, so I've seen it. But I would say it's a no-brainer. Like, what's the worst that can happen, bro? You lose 50K and go back.
I love it. He's crushed it. Okay. I'm trying to think of some other shit. I'm just gonna get you to handle my objections. I don't have to deal with them. Um, let's say someone says like, oh, there's a lot of people in this space who talk about being able to do growth consulting,
Mm,
sales coaching. A lot of them aren't like the real deal. How do I know that this is actually going to work and not be a
yeah.
waste of time?
Bro, this is super important. This is something that I see there's a trend going on in like especially 2025, 2026. Like
Mm.
if you go and look at any growth operator right now, and even sales coaches, and I say this because I'm in this industry, right? It's always the flashy lifestyle, the Lambos, Dubai. Bali, whatever it is, like, flexing all your material wealth, when realistically, like, hey, cool, those things are nice. They're like pretty cool. But if you like judge someone and you're investing in someone and you want a mentor purely based off what materialistic things they have, it's very low ROI. You're not going to get very far in life, right? At the end of the day. So the one thing you should look for to like basically differentiate everyone is results.
Mm.
Nothing speaks better than results and experience and how long someone's been in the industry. So, for example, like if I had to speak about you, Lockie, it's like, hey, I went from internshipping at one of the biggest marketing companies in all of Australia 10 years ago under one of the best marketers in the world to 10 years building million a month teams, scaling operations, launching multiple businesses, and doing minimum six figures a month. Like when you just look at the data and look at the stats, just the fact that you've been in the game for a decade like separates you from like all the growth operators that hit like 10, 20K a month and go and try to
Mm.
do something. Not that they're bad or not that they're like, no hate towards them, but it's like if you want the real deal, the best investment, scale to a million a month, like you want to learn from someone that's actually done a million a month.
Mm. Can you tell everyone I haven't paid you to say this, please?
He hasn't paid me. He's paid me my comms, which is great. Uh, I made a lot of money off that. But dude, I've been waiting a while for this, to be honest. It's just been in my mind.
Dude, you're crushing this. I like can't put into words how grateful I am for you saying all these things. Like the growth that you made was insane. Like how fast you picked up MOR was insane. The high rate of learning and the work ethic you put in. I literally remember because you're working two offers. I remember for context, Kashi was sleeping like 3 hours. Um, and sleeping through a lot of our sales meetings. I remember that. But you were running on like 3 hours sleep and then taking a full day of calls and doing like 10,000, 15,000 a day in cash. It was really, really impressive. Just out of curiosity, what are your thoughts looking back on that? I remember you drink a Coke Zero and have like a bagel or something for the entire day in terms of your nutrition.
Very good part, bro. Yeah, I still drink Coke Zero, so I still like it. So it hasn't gone away. I would say looking back, it was probably one of the best growth periods I had. And a lot of like why I did that and why I slept so less, which, again, there's negatives to that, but why I worked so hard was the standards. Like
Mm.
I didn't want to lose. And like you always talk about it, Lockie, it's like championship standards. Like there's no excuses. So I think Scale Smart was a big reason for that. Even the other offer that I had, it was great. Don't get me wrong, like really, really good offer, million a month, 2 million a month. But like the championship standard that started with Scale Smart and it bled into other offers. So I would say it was a good experience, but looking back, like I would have definitely prioritized health, and I should have just dropped one offer and gone all into one and join a team that has high standards and values and get good sleep if I had to go back and
But I mean, like that obsessive all in is how you get like the crazy hockey stick growth curve. So you definitely experience that. Um, what would you say is one thing that you learned from me that maybe surprised you over the past 12 months and how that kind of impacted and helped you get to where you're at today?
surprise me. Interesting. Surprise is hard. I would say like something that actually like surprised me was how this is gonna sound like kind of like weird, but it's like how human you are in a way where it's like
Okay.
where it's like when you hop on like some teams and maybe a lot of people watching this can relate, but it's very when you have high standards, there's like costs to that where it's like robotic dictatorship. Do this, do this, do this, do this, EOD here, tracking here, watch
Mm,
this. It's very like, you know, I say you do type mentality, right? But when I joined Scale Smart, I expected it to be like that, where it's like, yo, you have to do this, 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 this. Now, of course, there were standards, but
mm,
I would say you were more like individualized.
mm,
Like everyone got equal attention. Everyone had customized like coaching. Everyone, you're able to like read people very well and coach people very well. And see like, hey, some people respond to this type of coaching better, and other people respond to this type of coaching better. And I
mm.
think that's something that surprised me because I didn't expect someone that has gotten to like where you are and so many numbers that go through your head and day to day and in general, dude, it's tough running
Mm.
an offer all by yourself. I didn't expect that um from you, to be honest. That's what I'd say.
Dude, you're crushing this. I'm like I have to hold back the laughter because you're just nailing this. Um, I didn't pay this guy. I didn't pay this guy, everyone watching this.
Well,
Um, what I'd love for you to talk about, bro, is the Bali trip. So a lot of offer owners watching this, they've never taken their like team on a trip. Maybe they don't even have a team. One day they aspire to get everyone together and go somewhere awesome and ball out. As a teammate, how was the Bali trip?
yeah, dude, this is insane. So I'll actually share a story with you. I actually know of another team that one of my students was on, and that company hit 1 million a month. And my student hit like I think 12K, 13K in commissions, and
Nice.
and his deal was the last deal to get the company over the line. Now, you know, in Scale Smart, if we're hitting 1 million a month and one of our boys is getting the last PIF over the line to hit 1 million a month, like we're gonna go nuts. We're gonna go crazy,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
But I saw the Slack channel of this company and what they promised before, and they promised that, hey, guys, if we hit 1 million a month, we're going to go to Dubai or we're going to go to Bali, whatever it was. And it turns out as soon as they hit 1 million a month, they're like, oh, guys, trip canceled, Dubai trip. All the dangling carrots, the false promises that came on, like that whole team just had like so much sour energy
That's
towards the
wild,
founders,
bro. Why
which
did they
is
cancel
wild.
it? Did they give a reason?
They just said it wasn't good enough. Like we need it's again, bro. I think it was just the fact that I feel like founders just don't understand. Like you have to reward your team. You have to like build that culture, and that's something that you never compromised on. So a
Mm,
great example of this is incentivized commissions. You
mm,
were never like stingy with commissions. It's like if you perform well, if you do well, if you collect cash, you will get paid handsomely. It doesn't matter. Like you will get paid no matter what. A lot of offer owners I see, they try to like think they're going to make more money by charging closers payment processor fees or charging closers GST. Like, dude, these are things that might shock you, but
that's
I've just seen that and
crazy.
it's
How
so
wild.
common.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I only realized it after I got out of the scale smart bubble. I'm like, oh my God, this is actually like cooked.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say is the biggest difference is a lot of offer owners don't even do trips.
Mm,
Now, the ones that do trips that I've actually been on compared to this, like the Bali trip and Scale Smart, to this day, this is not just me, like you haven't paid me to say this, like nothing is compared. And I'm sure like anyone that you talk to that's been to the Bali Scale Smart trip would say the exact same thing.
mm,
First of all, it's like balling out, no holding back. It's like treating your team well, booking a really nice mansion, like, you know, having those championship rings, which is super sick, like having those personalized things, going out every single night, like living in the same building. Like these are things that I know a lot of offer owners don't do. And I think what that Bali trip did is it brought our entire team together, which was a big reason as to why we hit 1 million a month.
mm.
Um, is purely because of that Bali trip as well. It was a big motivation. And I can literally ask anyone if I message them right now about the Bali trip, they'll be like, dude, those are the goals.
Any highlights from the trip? Any memories that jump out at you?
Oh, there's a
What a
lot.
trip down memory lane.
Yeah, that is a trip down memory lane. I'd say like number one, which I thought was super cool that I saw no one else do was championship rings. I don't know. I just
Those are pretty cool.
that won't leave my mind, dude. That was hectic. I've never seen that happen. And for someone to like present championship rings, I just thought it was a really cool concept, man. I just thought it was sick. Other than that, obviously meeting you in person and being around you like
That
was
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 one of
pretty
them too.
cool, bro. A lot of the belief systems that you had got passed down to me. And I think that's really important. Like in a culture, is you're actually like close and tight knit. So I learned a lot from that Bali trip, just from you yourself, and then of course being around all my team members. We actually ended up, you know, becoming closer friends, and as a result of that, making more money after that when working together. That's what I'd
That
say.
was one of the crazy things to see in person was like, obviously to meet you and meet everyone else because we've just seen each other over Zoom. So cool to meet in person. But then to see like what I loved as like the coach of the team was seeing the teammates interact with each other and build like friendships with each other. Um, and you know, a very large, most of the sales reps from Scale Smart are still friends today, and like roommates, and travel around the world and stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, it's hectic, bro. That's why I always say that it's different. It's different. And if I had to like do an event, if I had to do something like that, I wouldn't like really change a thing, to be honest. Like obviously I can't do it to that insane scale, but like the amount of like customization, like personalization that I had, like I think that was a really good way to go about it. I don't know what I'd improve, to be honest.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I had heaps of fun. It was expensive, but
Yeah.
it was worth every penny. Um, cool, man. I'm running out of questions. What's someone who's watching this and they want to grow their offer and an offer owner? What's one thing you learned from me Actually, let me rephrase the question. I know you're doing your own thing at the moment, but let's say you're going to start an offer from scratch. What's one thing that you've learned from me that's really important to have a successful offer that someone watching this may not understand from not working with me?
I would say one thing that I learned from you, and I think like this is just now I realize now that this is a very successful characteristics in people that hit million a month, 2 million a month, 3 million a month is they focus on the foundation first. So now I don't know what it looks like to like actually work with you as an offer owner. Like obviously, I'm not at that scale yet, but I'm assuming for someone that's coming in as an offer owner, the first thing you're going to tell them is, dude, we got to get our foundation straight.
Mm,
So whether that means, if we have five closers on a team and we're doing 100K a month, do we really need five closers? Do we really need all these things? Do we need to outsource as much? Let's really develop our sales skill set. Let's have one or two closers, get them really, really ramped up, get them to a good skill set. So we have the base of like $1 million a month business. And that's something that I remember you told me specifically. It's like you can't hit a million a month if you don't have the base of $1 million a month business.
mm,
So I think that's the first thing that's super important is foundation. And if an offer owner is watching this, I see this all the time, and you see it as well, and you said it all the time. All these teams that do 500K a month, a million a month, even if they do a million a month, but they have 20 closers or
mm,
30 closers or
mm,
50 setters, it's just not sustainable. It's very burn and churn. It's low profit margins. It's a
mm,
headache to deal with.
mm,
You're better off having a very small, tight knit team like we had at Scale Smart, where it's like,
mm.
bro, four closers, five closers, max
Yeah,
hitting a million a month. Those are always the best teams, not just Scale Smart, but I've seen the most successful offers. They're very lean and
yeah.
tight. And that's something you told me.
Mm. Dude, you crushed it. What's next for you, bro? What's next for Kashi? What are you getting excited about for your future?
Um, Honestly, a lot of values have changed, but I'll just go into like financial and I guess sales and management, that those type of goals. Honestly, just to be a better leader, bro, and to be a better coach. For me, one thing that I've realized is money isn't everything.
Mm,
And there will be a day where you wake up, and I think you can relate to this, Lockie, where
mm,
money doesn't motivate you anymore, where it's like, hey, you have money in the bank to kind of live for the rest of your life, or hey,
mm,
you make enough money where you will never be poor again. So when you wake up, it's not money that motivates you, it's more like purpose that motivates you. And it took me a long time to kind of
mm,
find that purpose. But right now, and for the foreseeable future, I don't think it'll go away, is my purpose is just to help like every single little Kashi that I can get to 0 to 5 to 10K a month,
mm,
15K a month. And one of my goals personally that's like pretty close to my heart is I want to make my sales coaching so good and like the best program in the world where anyone from like India or like a third world country or
mm,
anywhere where like high ticket sales is just you're starting at a disadvantage, they
mm,
can come in and make like 1 to 2K a month or
mm,
3K a month. I think that's like peak. If I
mm.
hit that, that's honestly like that's GG, bro. I don't know what else I'd do.
Dude, that is fucking awesome, man. That is a really, really, really dope goal. Because man, people in like countries like India work their fucking ass off, but they just
100%.
don't have the access to the education to be able to get an opportunity like this. That's really cool. Where does the desire for that come from? The motivation.
I think like actually the a part of I don't know. Like I actually don't know where that motivation comes from. I'm more like discovered it.
Mm,
So now when I wake up, everything that I do is aligned with let me help as many little Kashis as possible.
mm,
So if I wake up at 5:30, it's because if I wake up earlier, there's one more person that I can help. If I
mm,
respond to DMs faster, it's like if I didn't respond, they would just go and invest in a scam or invest in something that's not as effective, and I just lost a life.
yeah.
That's how I think every single action that I do is to help them. And I genuinely feel that. And also what's super cool, and I'll share a story with you, is I have a student. His name is Pravesh. And Pravesh is like one of my few students that's actually from India. Like he
Mm,
was born in India, in a village, Indian accent, extremely hard to
mm,
succeed at high ticket sales by like the traditional norm.
yep.
He actually came into my program and went from like 0 to 1 lakh rupees a month, which is like 2K a month, 3K a month, which is
Right.
like insane money, dude. And somewhere like India, that's like parents' combined salary. And
Yeah.
he messaged me and was like, dude, I bought my first ever MacBook. I went to my mom and I bought her a watch. I was like, dude, that's hectic. And
Awesome.
that was just super cool. Like for me, like those are the dopamine hits that I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do now. It's more like everything is kind of optimized with that. even this interview right here, like, hey, offer owners and anyone that's watching this, it's like, hey, if you need sales reps, hit me up, hit Lachie up. It's like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's like you're helping as many people as possible. So yeah.
Dude, 100% facts. And anyone watching this video, hit up Kashi. The kid's an absolute prodigy when it comes to sales. And by the way, he's 20 years old. It's for everyone watching this. Just a reality check, everyone, and make you feel old as fuck. Kashi's 20 at the moment.
Had to nerf me real quick, bro.
No, I say that as a positive thing because the success you've had at 20 is fucking wild. I can't wait to see where you're at when you're my age. Dude, thanks. Nothing but a massive, big thanks. Can't wait to see what you do, and thanks for having your time and saying all the nice things.
For sure. Keen to hop on again sometime, see where you're at, bro.
Nice one. All right, brother. Bye for now.